A very good morning to all my fellow Toastmasters and the guests who joined today for the first session of Illuminate. Now, when I start to talk about this session, I would like to explain the thought process that we had behind Illuminate first. Illuminate is something that came about when we started thinking about all of the different feelings and emotions that we have around this time of the year. And by this time of the year, I mean placement season and internship season. There is a lot of stress and a lot of confusion going around thinking about, when you see all of these companies coming in, how do you prepare for the interview? How do you submit your resume such that a company wants to shortlist you for their processes, and so on and so forth. And it is very natural to feel confused, and it is okay to, look for help in a time like this. And so we thought, well, what does it feel like to actually reach out to someone who's already in the corporate and has seen the other side of this process? And that is how we have our first session here today. And a huge thank you to the area team for helping us make this happen. We have a very experienced speaker with us today. We have Toastmaster Princely, and a very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. He is a senior associate at Infosys. He's from Ocean Toastmasters Club, and he is currently serving as the district assistant chief judge. And for more about him and to introduce him for his session, I would like to call upon our MCs for the day, Toastmaster Lakshmi and Toastmaster Arun Balaji. Over to you.
Okay. Hey Lakshmi, what are your plans for the upcoming year?
Hello, Arun. I'm not sure. Maybe sit for placement, but I'm not confident enough and a bit nervous.
Okay, yeah, I get it. In order to be the best, you have to learn from the best of the best. This is why we have TM Princely Samuel with us here.
Oh, Toastmaster Princess Samuel, who was the past area director of Area H3.
Yes, you are right. He has been a very active Toastmaster, has taken up many roles and has given a lot of educational sessions. He has also worked as an English professor at KCG College and was an English language trainer for almost 11 years. He is currently working
Oh,
at Infosys as a senior associate.
now I'm excited about this session as Toastmaster Princess Samuel has an experience in corporate world as well as interacting with students.
We would like to hand over the virtual stage to TM Princely Samuel, who will illuminate us with his session on interview prep and resume building. Let's give him a big hand and welcome him onto the virtual stage.
Thank you, MCs, for the wonderful introduction. And we call something a Shakespearean probability. When you think that this should not happen, that will happen. So I'm sitting right now at my Trivandrum office. Yesterday I was in Chennai for a training, flew back, came to Trivandrum, somehow reached my guest house. And Infosys is known for its software and internet, everything. Now I'm not getting internet here, so my bad. I am not able to log in inside my system. I hope I'm audible and clearly visible. And um, uh, for the next 1 hour, I want all of you to keep praying that my network doesn't go. So I'm tensed about it, but I hopefully nothing like that happens. Thank you, Sana, especially for reaching out to me and arranging this program. And you asked me that they are giving 15,000 rupees and you have a corporate training, and no cost you have a student training. Which will you choose? I'll be very honest, I'll be choosing the students training because I have a heart for the students. So when they said I will do it, and Trichy is very close to Madurai. I belong to Madurai. I studied in American college right from my UG till my doctorate. So I have a flair for Trichy also, right? We'll start the session. Okay, how many of you you want to get placed. MCs or the admin, I want you to help me out in the chat window because in my mobile, I'm not getting a lot of notifications. So kindly help me in the process. How many of you want to get placed? I'm not telling, will you get placed? I'm not asking that question. How many of you are wanting to get placed? Okay. How many of them are there in the meeting?
Currently 29 people.
That is-
sir.
Okay. How many of them have said that they want to get placed? At least 10, 15?
15 of them.
Okay. I want the session to be an interactive one, so you can unmute and speak whenever you want. Why do you think the companies are asking resume? Actually, the pronunciation for that is not resume. Resume is the power resumes. That's a different word altogether. This is resume. The way you go and tell in your company, here's my resume, you have half cleared your interview. Because 10 out of 9 people tell this is my resume. It's resume, it's a French word, so kindly note that. Okay, why is company asking for resume? You're going there, you're all present there. Why are they still asking for your resume? Okay, if you're going to be quiet, I will also be quiet because this is going to be an interactive session. So you need to, whatever you tell in my session, I will tell, wow, excellent, super. I promise you that. Okay, you can just keep answering. If you're not able to speak, you can even put it in the chat window. My MCs will help. Yeah. Anyone who can be an initiator, starter, so that others will start telling.
They might want a gist of like past work experience or whatever projects we worked on, just to see how passionate we are for the role.
Yeah, you are a fresher, so you don't have work experience. So if you have a work experience, this is not called as resume. That is called as curriculum vitae. CV is a different word altogether. Okay. If we want to get married, we call it as biodata. Okay, that's a different. So 3 important parts that you should. 1 second. From here, using phone as I'll be getting phones. Okay. 3 important things. Biodata is for your marriage. Okay. Too early to think about it, so forget that. Second is resume. Curriculum vitae. Curriculum vitae is after your work experience. It's also too early to think about it. Let's not think about it. Okay. Third is your resume, which you're going to have now. Resume. Who answered? Hanan answered, telling that maybe to understand whether I'm passionate about that role. Great, good answer. Any other different one? It is simple answer that you have in your mind. Sir, my college is telling, sir, that's why I'm taking. If you ask me to go without anything, I'll be very happily walking inside the interview room without taking anything. How many of you are in that mode? Okay. Have you seen standard resumes? We'll come back to this question again. Have you seen standard resumes? What will be there in the standard resumes? You'll have an objective, name, right hand side corner, phone number. If you are studying in the same college, if I remove your names and phone numbers, everything will be the same, including hobby, right? Cut, copy, paste. I will take it there so that no problem. If my friend tells like reading books, I also put like reading books. What is the last book that you read? What did my friend tell? I will also tell the same. A lot of formats we will have. But I will tell resume in 21st century, corporate is expecting in a creative way. I'm going to show you some sample resumes. The first important thing, see, I'm not a person who strongly believes in PowerPoint, so I'm not sharing any PowerPoint. I do have one. I will share it with Sana at the end of my session because this has to be more of an interactive session. You can take that pointers to prepare a good resume. Okay, as I've already mentioned, after preparing, you can always send it back to me. I'll be very happy to sit and examine it, dissect it, and then send it to you, telling that these are the places that you can change. So the company is expecting a resume to understand your focus. Okay, imagine I'm applying for a teaching job. My objective cannot be like to work in an organization where I can collaborate and work. That's a general objective, right? So I have to tell I want to work in a challenging environment where I can teach and learn from the organization. I'm narrowing down and focusing my objective. Another $1 million question. Do you want objective? It's up to you. There are people who write resumes without objective. See, now resume, right, left, center, you can create anything for that matter. People are usually preparing for one page only, more of a profile kind of thing. Gone are those days where 2 page, 2.5 pages, the more you add, your resume is great. No, you have to bring it at least within a page and a half. That's it. So focus is the main point of preparing your resume. Second important thing is your resume is more of a process of dilution. Imagine there are 10 members who are applying for the job. I cannot sit and interview all those 10 members. Okay. So what I do is I see your resume. I know this person is not focused. This person doesn't suit my profile and all those things. By keeping the objective alone and your project, everything in mind, I can easily dilute you and I select only 2 members and have one-on-one interview with them. So poor you might perform better than those 2 members, but if your resume is not healthy, you will get rejected. Okay. So first, your objective should satisfy me. Second is, in your resume, your project works, especially students, your project works and your paper presentations and your seminars that you're attending are going to highlight and add credits. That's very important. Many a time we add a lot of things like extracurricular activities that comes last. I'm not asking you to put the exact word. I'm just telling the first important priority that is given to resume is your co-curricular activities. Can somebody differentiate between co-curricular and extracurricular? Because we are used to writing co-curricular also, Coco, volleyball, everything. Extracurricular also, Coco, volleyball and everything. Okay, what is co-curricular? What is extracurricular? You can attempt whatever you feel like it comes to your mind, you can say.
So co-curricular is something that goes along with the curriculum. Let's say like seminars
Okay.
and paper.
Excellent.
And extracurricular is something that's apart from the curriculum, like sports.
Okay. Okay. Toastmasters, is it a co-curriculum or extracurriculum? Now there's a doubt. Okay, people told that it's a co-curricular. That's why I paid fees and joined. So is this fellow going to tell that extracurricular? Okay, Toastmasters is a very dicey field where you can bring it also in extracurricular, you can also bring it in co-curricular because every company is expecting communication. Okay, communication is what every company is expecting. So it can come under co-curricular, not a problem. So second important aspect in your resume is your offshoot of your studies. Right? If you're studying engineering, what have you done related to engineering? Your paper presentations, your seminars, your webinars, anything for that matter. First priority, give it to things that you have done on your own. Second priority, give it to things that you have done as a team. Okay, that's very important. So that is where your individuality comes out. That's why we encourage students to go and at least attend paper presentation. If you're not having that, the interest towards your curriculum is not there and this person is not a focused person. Second important aspect in my thing. Okay, last week I had an opportunity to go and interview students of a PSG college, Coimbatore. So I'm in Coimbatore, so my company person told, okay, can you just go and do it? And everyone who brought their resume had a ditto or had a exact format of whatever is present. And one or two came so creative. You know what? The panelists didn't even ask them interview questions. They asked them few questions in their resume and they got selected in a straight manner. So whenever you prepare your resume, it is like building your profile. You need to do it right from your third year. Slowly start adding things. Diluting things, add things, delete things. You have to do all those things for that matter. Okay, I'm going to show you an interesting resume. See this. This is one of my students where me and my student sat and prepared this resume. Now he's a developer in Zoho. Okay, I think Sana, I won't be in a position to share. I guess can I send it to you on WhatsApp? Will you be in a position to share it?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Give me 1 second. I think I've shared it.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Okay. Yeah, excellent. So can somebody read the first leave alone the member, leave alone the whole corporation, leave that. Can you just come down and okay, from the right hand side, can somebody read education? Can somebody read from the education part?
KCG College of Technology, BECSC,
Okay.
7.6
Okay.
out of 10.
Okay.
And timeline
Then
2015-2019.
okay, the school came. Here he have added experience in the left hand side. If you see, initially when he was a fresher, he had this statement. The objective was, I'm a dummy engineer who is trying to become a real engineer by trying new things. And if I get an opportunity to work in your company, I will try. At the same time, I will flare and make your company also grow. This is what he wrote in the objective part. Then the others are the same. Professional skills, he brought it into a more of a diagrammatic representation of Java, JavaScript, and everything. Additional details, if you can see, if you can scroll up, there he has brought whatever one. Look at the projects that he has done, right? All these projects, in the sense, you need to bring your college projects that you're doing. Apart from that, if you're doing some social projects, maybe that also you can bring. Then he brought interest, public speaking, and of course he was a Toastmaster, so he brought all this Toastmasters effect into play. And finally, look at the hobbies. He has put us interests, where photography, military, public speaking, and everything came into the play. Okay, yes.
Should I stop sharing screen, sir?
Yeah, I can stop sharing. Yeah. So have you seen a resume like this? You have seen?
No, sir.
Okay. He
Especially
was
the skills part.
yes. You know what? He was condemned by the college management, telling that if you're going to come like this, don't attend interviews. He told, okay, that's fine. I have this creativity and I will go only with this resume. If you allow me, I will attend. Now he's one of the, I can give his number also. Gautam is one of the senior lead program developer in Zoho Corporation. He's been working for the past 3 years. Okay. So now my question to all of you is, you're going to get inside the breakout room. Okay. You're going to discuss, if you want to prepare your resume in a creative way, what will you do? Now I have given you a glimpse of that resume. What will you do? Let us hear from teams, their own creativity. Then we are going to put together and we are going to form a resume today. Then after that, individually, you can start working on your resume. Take 1 month's time in preparing, adding, deleting. People think that resume is just one day affair. The previous day interview, the next day interview, the previous day I go, I get 2-3 formats from computer centers. Now we don't need computer centers. Everything we have it cut, copy, paste, and we to delete things. No, that's not the case. You need to prepare in a very meticulous way. So can I ask the admin to prepare into breakout rooms? Let me see which team comes with the best creativity of resume. And I will tell what are the things that you should not add in the name of creativity. That part I will talk about it later, because now if I say your mind will be preoccupied with deleting that, you just go ahead, have a free way of doing it. Sana, can you just put them into breakout rooms? So all of you are back. Did we pull you out? Pavan, we saw you, not to worry. Good that at least you are on video, because there are people who are not coming on video. So as long as you are on video and doing all these things, no problem at all. Okay, great. So how was the discussion? I know definitely you wouldn't have completed. Did you have any brainstorming at least? What did you feel after doing it?
Sir, I guess not all the participants have come back from the room. It is still possible.
So we're just waiting. Okay, we'll just wait then. I was taking a freshers program, and one boy was not aware that he was not on mute. So his mother is coming and calling, தம்பி வா கடைக்கு போயிட்டு வந்துடலாம். So he tells, அம்மா வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க, இருந்தாலும் for first 10 நிமிஷம் அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் எடுப்பாரு, அதுக்கப்புறம் போயிட்டு வந்துடலாம், முடிக்கிறதுல வந்து. I told, super, go wherever you want, but at least be on mute, because it is hurting me that you are not going to be there away from the computer. So keeping all those things in mind, Pavan, what you did was, I absolutely appreciate you, because you are on video at least, naturally doing what you are doing. Great. We all are here?
Yeah.
So what did this brainstorming help you? I know this is just a beginning, just a glimpse of what you would have started discussing. What did you feel when you started discussing? Were you able to get some ideas?
Yeah, we got a couple of ideas. The first few minutes were lost completely, but then slowly one idea after each idea, we progressively got into it. And
Can you
then
tell one or two?
yeah, so I'll tell what we discussed. One, we thought we could add logos to the resume, like company
Great.
logos, club logos. One more thing is icons. So we could add icons to the resume, like instead of writing a position of responsibility, add a small icon close to it. Another thing was infographics. We could add infographics, and like skill levels, you can use gliders to represent, like proficient, advanced. So you can use gliders to represent. One more thing, we thought LinkedIn as like headers, so we can use it similarly to like resume, like a phrases on values, something what we believe in the headers. So you have that section in the top.
Yeah.
And again, we can use colors, patterns. That's just basics about it. And the last, we thought like adding languages or something where you're from. You could add a small bit of map, like if it's Tamil Nadu, add maybe Tamil Nadu's map in the side, the languages we know. So pretty much that's it from our group.
Great. Any other different answer? I'll come back to what who spoke now. Like, I'm not able to get the name here in my list.
Rahul.
Rahul. I'll come back to Rahul again. Any other different ideas? Okay. See, whatever Rahul told is excellent. There are a couple of things that you should keep in your mind, like your resume should not be too much colorful, right? It has to be plain and simple, so that we will tell, no, what shirt is this? Whoever sees this will get blind. The color of shirts that we wear at sometimes, no, it should not be like so glaring. That's very important. And whatever the ideas he gave about this map, everything, that's an excellent one. That's a very innovative one, and you can include that. But more than that, your resume talks about factual information that you really are doing, or you really have did it. So why I tell you should start building your resume from your third year, only then you will know that, okay, I have a lot of things to be updated in my resume. I don't have anything here. Okay, when I started building my resume, I felt like, okay, no certifications, no experience in getting some certified trainer kind of thing. So when I started building that, okay, let me do a certification. After building, okay, let me attend to paper presentation. Okay, let me give one seminar. Okay, let me organize a tour, so that in leadership skill I can put that I was the organizer for going on an IV. You know what? The best challenge that a leader can take is planning for an IV. 8 different directions, 8 different people will tell 8 different countries you want to travel. You have to convince every one of your students and bring them and tell that we will all go to Goa. We will all go to Bangalore. I know people have done that. That's one of the greatest leadership quality in Infosys. When we interview them, when we see Ivy leadership, we will tell you, wow, this fellow is great. We'll ask questions about that only. And he will tell, yes, sir. Problem started. Till the previous day night, we were not very sure whether the bus will come, whether we'll board the bus or not, who is going to come, who is not going to come. It's a challenge. So put challenging things that you have achieved in your life that can be added in your resume after your co-curricular activities. Your co-curricular activities are only going to speak volumes. Okay, I'm going to quickly take a pause and stop here to take questions from you. But before that, understand this, don't add personal information in your resume. Never add personal information in your resume. Your detailing is not needed for us. Maybe simple information like name, your gender, your age, maybe whether we are able to understand that it suits the job role, the experience that is needed. Except for that, I don't think any personal information can be needed. Declaration is not needed in nowadays in resume. In previous days, they tell that I hereby declare that everything is true to my knowledge. That is not needed in modern resume. Okay, that's an important point. I can give you 10 highlighters to prepare a good resume, which I'll be sending it to Sana over a Word document. Okay, and now I'm purposely not telling it because let me see if after 15 days, Sana, if somebody comes back and asks still they are interested in doing a resume, let's really go ahead and do it, because whatever I do now, no, it's not going to help unless and until you are going to do it like a continuous process. Okay, that's very important. Okay, I'm stopping here. Three important things from Infosys we insist on resume is, one is your focus, your objective that you're going to put. Second important thing is your clarity in the job role that you're applying. Okay, so put anything related to that, your curricular activities, if it is matching that. For example, if you're applying for a software position, you need to put things like I've completed this certification in cloud or Python or C++, something which is so relevant to the position. Third important thing that we see is the format. Okay, do we have the clarity? Even the font that you're going to put, you have to think from my position. When I see that resume, am I able to read it, or is it so clumsy? That's very important. Even Gautam's resume, I was telling, it is still clumsy, Gautam. I think you need to have some space, because I'm not able to connect this and that. But somehow in Zoho, it worked out good for him. The same resume was rejected in a couple of companies. So third important thing that you should have is the spacing and the format that you're doing. It should not be ambiguous. It should not overlap with one or the other. And that is where we look in Infosys especially. So almost equivalent to, you can take like HCL, Accenture, Scope, Standard Chart Bank. These are all same tier of companies where they'll be looking the same format. Okay, and header footer, if your page is going on beyond one page, header footer is so important, where your email ID and your phone number comes in every other page. Because when during some time, if it is smudged or if it is not seen, the other page helps them to identify that and give you a call. Last important thing I'm going to tell, and I'm going to take questions from you. Your email ID should be so professional. You cannot tell prince7@gmail.com. Right? I will immediately reject. You might be a great student, you might be an intelligent student, but I will not take you, because I want your email to be very professional. Like if you are not able to get your name, then put princely.s or sana.yasmin, something like that, because there are chances of getting bounced if you use dot and things like that. When they read, they might be not reading the right email. So maximum try avoiding special characters. That's a very important aspect that I want to bring. I have seen a lot of resumes from Infi getting bounced because they think underscore as hyphen, hyphen as underscore. A lot of confusion happens. Keep that in your mind. I'm stopping here. It is your time now. You need to ask me questions, and from there I'm going to build and take it, and maybe we're going to wind up the session. How many minutes do we have, Sana?
We have 40 minutes more, sir. We can go on.
Oh, excellent. So Great. So first I'll take questions, then I'll tell a couple of other important points and then go ahead. Questions, MCs? Because I should really understand where we are standing. Yeah.
So I had a doubt regarding the ambiguous part of different sections. Can you talk about it again?
Okay. For example, education, you write, right? Education, what do we write in education? Do you write your schooling, college, or do you write only your schooling? Or what is that education means?
We write about 10th mark, 12th mark, and college education, where we studied and what was our grade.
Okay, okay. Education is more of where did you study, right?
Yes, sir.
So in this, you need to write education and qualifications. Everyone write. There are a lot of mistakes that people make in this, which we usually reject. Is educational qualification. That's not the right phrase together. It is education and qualification, which means you're trying to tell the name of the institution and the qualification that you are having it. So this is ambiguous for me. So when people write educational qualification, I know they have not read their resume. They have copied from somewhere and they are following the same. See, every topic you need to question, is it right? Put it in Google and check. A lot of answers that we are putting is wrong. Okay. Second thing is, after that, what is the topic that you're connecting? The topic that you're going to put the next should be connective with the above topic. For example, education and qualification you have put. So what can be the next?
Related to co-curricular, related to education, what else?
Obviously, what aspect? Co-curricular activities or paper. Now, for example, if you're going to put paper presentations immediately, you also mentioned your 10th and 12th, right?
Yes.
So that's a disconnect. So what I would suggest is, if you have achieved something in your 10th and 12th, start with that. If you have not achieved, then don't put co-curricular activities, could put paper presented, seminars attended, which means you're trying to connect the college thing only. When you put co-curricular activities and you have education and qualification, the above slide, there is no connection for 10th and 12th. That's my question there.
Okay.
Okay, so and these are all very small meticulous things. People think that they're very small. So for me, I need some point to reject you, right? Because I have 100 resumes in my hand.
Okay.
In the interview, I'm in the process of only selecting you because I've called for an interview because I like your resume. I want you in my company. But in resume, I'm in the process of diluting. So my mindset will be looking for only mistakes there.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Sir, one doubt regarding the same topic, sir.
Yeah.
When you say co-curricular, start with 10th and 12th because that is what is above that. But they say the most recent ones should be on top in each category. So this is two contradicting opinions. Which one should we?
No, you're telling the format that you have started, you start with college and come till 10th, right?
Yes, for every.
Yeah, that is right. Maybe this has been mistaken, I guess. What I'm telling is, in chronological order, you have completed your 10th and 12th and only have come. So when you next put your co-curricular activities, you have to start with 10th, 12th and then only then come on. But when you're putting in your resume, the education and qualification, you start with the recent, then the next recent, then 10th, 12th. That order is the same. But when you're starting to talk about your co-curricular activities, you cannot start with your recent thing. You start with your 10th and 12th because I get a sense of feel like you are a focused student right from your 10th standard. Right here, when you start with your college thing alone, I know in your college you would have started, now you are attending interview, right? So I know you're grooming yourself, you're getting ready for the process. Infi looks, even I hope you would have heard of it, Infi looks from 10th standard till college. They tell minimum 60%, and if you don't have 60%, 10th, 12th, UG, they don't select you even the basic round. But now after post-pandemic, thanks to pandemic, things have changed. Attrition rate is higher in Infosys. I'm sitting in Infosys and telling this. I don't know whether some recording is here or not. Attrition rate is very high in Infosys, and all the rules have now come down, where people tell that you come, if you have good communication, we'll select you. So things are changing now. I asked one of my HR, why are you expecting from 10th and 12th? Poor fellows, they have started studying good in college now. So it tells that these people are not stable and credible people. Even in job, they might leave our job and go. But from 10th, if they're consistent in their process, that shows their discipline and stability. In a way, it is true. But in a way, as a behavioral skill trainer, I won't agree with that because at times life turns us and we get a transformation in life. Okay. So that's also one of the points that's mentioned. I hope I've answered your questions, Anna.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir. We have questions from one of our audience.
Yeah.
Should we customize our resume according to the company we are applying for? If so, how could we do that?
2-3 things are mentioned here. For example, if you're going on a campus interview, I would tell not to customize because even before you go to the company, knowing everything about the company is difficult. The position about the company is difficult. If your placement officer is giving a clear picture of why and what, maybe you can customize in your objective part to become a software engineer or to become a system engineer, to become a DevOps developer, something like that. But in that case, it's not needed. But if you're going on an off-campus interview, you need to do an extensive research of which job you are applying, what is the specialty about the company, how many years the company is. Based on that, how you can tweak is first is your objective. Second is, for example, in your co-curricular activities, if you have put a paper presentation, seminars and things like that, and then brought your technical skills. If you are applying for a technical job, you first bring your technical skills and then put co-curricular activities, something like that. Okay, that's how you can customize. You cannot create something new. The order, the chronology might change. That's the only customization part. But providing, if you are very sure that this is what the company is expecting, this is what the position is. If you are not sure, I won't encourage you to customize because that might backfire. Because your expectation, you think something and assume something, and they have something in their mind. Because of that, we might get rejected. So keep the basics right. There's a website called glassdoor.com. I think you go into that website, you'll be able to find out the details of all the companies. More than that, more than Glassdoor, my recommendation would be like get one member from the company, your senior, your alumni, talk to them. They will even tell that who will come and take an interview and what are the questions they will ask. That's how a lot of seniors help us, right? So that's the best way for you to get connected. Not only in resume, if you want to ask any questions regarding the interview also you can ask, because this is a session more into your interview preparation. So you can ask that. I'm technically I'll be the panel as communication expert. So I know a little bit of what is happening in Infosys as per interview process. So you can ask anything that you feel like.
Sir.
Yep.
So what piece of advice will you give a first year on resume building right now, sir?
No, first year piece of advice that I would give is enjoy your life. Too early for you to think about resume because you have a lot more to go. In first year, my only recommendation to you for your resume would be like do a lot of paper presentations, because second year, third year you come when your technical subject starts creeping on you. It will be very hard. And first year gives you liberty to do presentation even in physics, even in chemistry, or even in English. So you have that liberty of doing it if you're an engineer. So that's the only thing that I would recommend you to do. Second thing is first year I would recommend you to set goals of which company are you going to you want to get placed. Write 5 dream companies of yours. Write in your diary, dare to dream. That's what my daughter has written in her diary. She has written dare to dream. And yesterday I was a little surprised to know that yesterday my daughter's 10th marks came. And we are kind of parents where we don't force kids to study. I don't even know what my daughter studies. I tell we'll go out for an ice cream, we'll go to cinema, cut classes. That's how I do, and get a lot of scoldings from my wife for doing that. But still, I do that. And yesterday she has scored a 477 out of 500. I was little doubtful whether it is my blood or something like that. In hospital, did people change the kid? 477, and she was telling I could have got 4-5 marks extra. I told my head is rotating, just keep quiet. 477 is too much for our family. So, but she took her diary and showed this. She had written right in the beginning of her 10th standard, Dad to Dream. I have taught her this lesson, and she has written she will score somewhere between 475 and 481, and she has scored 477. So that's very important. You need to fix a goal in first year. In first year, kindly don't think about resume, don't think about how interview will go on. Just set goals. That's the important aspect. Any other question?
Good morning, sir.
Sir.
Regarding interviews,
Lakshya, I'll come back to you. I know you wanted to ask some question. I'll finish this question and come. Yeah, please go ahead.
I just wanted to know what, according to you, is the best way to introduce ourselves in an interview?
Okay, how many of you, being in third year, know to introduce yourself? 10 lines. It should not be your father's name, mother's name, where do you come from? Nothing should be there. Can somebody try?
I'm not
It's
sure
just
about
like
10 lines, but 5 to 6 lines. Is
Yeah,
that
go ahead. Let's see. From there, we'll build it on. Go ahead.
okay? So I can't tell about my family. Or can I just say my general introduction and you can correct me where I'm wrong?
Yeah. Please go ahead. Whatever you have in your mind, go ahead. We'll just.
Okay. So I'm Rahul. Currently, I'm studying in the EC department, Electronic Communication Engineering department, and in the incoming third year. So we are a family of 3, and we reside in Jakarta, Indonesia. And I've been in Chennai and Mumbai prior to this, and I've done a lot of shifting and been to 3 different schools of 3 different boards of education. College, I've been part of 3 fest teams with the roles of organizing, marketing, and events. 2 clubs, ISEC and consulting, and held a position as joint secretary in NIT Trichy Student Council. I take active interest in sports. Mainly in school, I've led football and cricket teams and was also awarded Sportsperson of the Year for my achievement. I enjoy leadership roles and I love traveling, and I've been around 10 different countries. In my free time, I love playing the guitar, drawing, blogging, and watching movies. I have an Instagram page for movies and an art page along with a blog site. Yes, and my strengths would be leadership and taking an initiative, multitasker, and ability to learn from failure. And my weakness would be learning to prioritize things. And lastly, I keep comparing myself to others and I set my standards high, which often leads to disappointment. Thank you.
Rahul, I hope that's only about your introduction, right? Because I thought that there are too many things. Like for me, in this age, I have not achieved anything that you have achieved. Great. Let's give a big round of applause for Rahul for whatever he spoke. So remember this, I'm a very impatient person and my panelists are also impatient panelists where they will select a candidate in 3 minutes. And your first 30 seconds of your introduction will either make you or break you. So I'm not interested in too much detailings. So my expectation is very simple. How clear are you in your communication and how focused are you to get this job? So my first 6 sentences will be like this. My name is Princely Samuel. I completed my BA at American College. My discipline is English. I'm interested in teaching and training, and I have a passion towards my teaching field. So this sentence is very powerful because I'm attending a teaching interview. So after your name and your organization that you're studying, your first sentence should be like related to your job of what you're going to do. For example, if you're trying for a software developer, immediately start talking about that. Okay. Then bringing your achievements, HR people are sadists. Sorry to tell this. Okay. When you're too much achieving person, they will have a scare of what this fellow will come into my organization, and there'll be one of your team members who's sitting will feel intimidated. I have never achieved these many things. So keep your profile low when you introduce yourself because it's already there in your resume. Keep it very clear and focused. Tell what you need for the job. 6 sentences should be like your name, the company, the college that you're studying, your department, your strength, and your weakness where you're converted into a strength. Okay. I have fear of speaking in the public, so I decided to learn this, and now I'm a teacher. So you're trying to tell that once, which was my weakness, is my strength now. I'm a person who can learn things. Okay, that is where you need to know. These are 7 powerful sentences that you can speak. Your name, your organization, your department, your 2 strength, 2 weakness, which you're converted into a strength. Then finally you tell there are a lot of other things that I've achieved. I'd be very happy. It's given in my resume. If you have anything specific, kindly let me know. I'll be happy to answer you. Keep it crispy. If they keep talking till I tell stop, then bring everything inside this. I'll ask you one question for you, Rahul. Can I?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Why did you tell that you went to 10 countries?
No, so there I wanted to say because I wanted to describe my hobbies and also quantify it, like just to.
Okay, now imagine that I'm not interested in knowing your place that you have visited. You are telling your hobbies. Imagine that I have not visited any country. What will I feel?
Okay, intimidated maybe.
You are not purposely doing it, right?
Yes.
So now, whenever you introduce yourself, remember this. I'm not telling Rahul. This is for everyone. I'm giving Rahul as an example. Thanks, Rahul, for bringing that because everyone should know. You should empathize with the receiver and tell your introduction. Right? This is definitely not to tell that we are great. Gone are those days where interviewers are more interested in your great achievements. Now, interviewers are more interested in your humble way and the attitude that you're going to present. Right? You come inside the company and you freak out. People will get terrified. But for coming inside the company, you need that humility and the attitude of presenting yourself. Whatever you are presented, I would tell that I'm a very jolly going person where I like traveling. I would stop there. Okay. And all the other things that you told, you had 3 different college studies, right? Even that, rather than quantify, we can tell that I had a different background of education where I was studying in 2-3 different colleges and I enjoyed doing that, something like that. Keep it very like touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. Don't be so specific because let's not intimidate the interviewer, because I'm really sorry to tell this, because panel members, I have seen a lot of very good students getting rejected because of their ego. I would have given them full marks. They will tell that let's not select this person. I will ask them why, because he was talking too much. I will feel really bad because I've seen sat in the interview. I'll feel really bad. So Rahul, you have great language, great ideas, great things. But see, after that, you empathize with the receiver and tell, and you will definitely reach greater heights.
Sure,
I
sir.
hope you take it in the right sense,
Yes.
Rahul.
Yes, sir. That's really, thank you for the feedback. So I had 2 doubts with regards to it. So my first doubt is like, like you said, 5 to 7 important things, right? But then hobbies were not part of it. So should we cut down our hobbies in our introduction? And
No, you can. The 3 minutes plan, 3 minutes, Rahul. 1.5 minutes is very important. So in that 1.5 minutes, if you can bring your hobby also, it will be great.
Okay, so hobbies also is fine. And one more thing would be strength and weaknesses. Obviously, we can do that.
Yeah.
And should we talk 2 lines about the company? Like in case I'm applying for Infosys, should I like why I like Infosys because of the principles?
That's a very creative point. You can end with that note, so that remains in their mind, right? I love Infosys, and coming to Infosys interview, Infosys has been my dream, and Narayanamurthy, Mysore campus, 2-3 touches. No, you are sprinkling to them, telling that I have done some research about the company. That's a good way.
Yes, sir, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? See, these are the questions that will help us provoke, understand. Okay. Any other questions? Because regarding the resume, no worries. I'll be sending you 10 formats, and I will be sharing with you. That's more than enough for you to prepare a good resume. You can mix and match and do something and prepare a good resume. Okay. Any other questions? It might be a simple question, but I think Lakshi, you wanted to ask something. Go ahead, Lakshi. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a question from one of our audience only. So it goes like, what is a good question we can ask an interviewer if we are asked to ask at the end of the interview?
Come again, Lakshi. I'm not able to hear you.
What would be a good question to ask the interviewer if we are asked to ask a question at the end of the interview?
Okay. Do you have anything for ourselves? That's a question the interviewer will ask, right? Do you want to ask anything? For that, what should we? Okay, that's where we tell that I know about Infosys. Infosys has 17 branches. Narayanamurthy is the head. Mysore is the main campus. But I don't know about, and ask some simple question. Now, there you're not asking a question. There you're trying to sprinkle and tell that you know everything about Infosys. You've done some research about Infosys. So usually I ask my students to ask that. Or you can ask casual questions to that person like, sir, you had a very good way of pronouncing your language. So can you help me understand that? How did you develop that? That fellow will know that you're putting a big eyes on him. He will say, come on, chalo. He will have a sigh of smile. But who knows, at the end of the day, when there is 2 seats left and they want to select, they will say, that fellow asked about me, let him select. That's how interview happens. Don't mistake me, but that's how interview happens at times. So it's always good to make the interviewer feel comfortable. You sir, can I know from where you come from? Because I feel like I've seen you somewhere. I am a native of Mother, something like that. Make it so casual. But this company part you talk, no, that's professionally good because you are trying to sprinkle and tell that I have done some research about the company. If you can either bring it in an introduction or ask towards the end when an opportunity is given. Or you can confidently also ask, like, sir, now being selected, where will I join? When will I join? Where will I join? Now that fellow will ask, like, come on, just now the interview has got over. And this one, that's a confidence statement. Yeah. Confidence. Any other questions?
Sir, we have a question from the audience.
Yeah, please.
What is more effective in a resume? More diverse projects or more diverse course certificates or focused projects?
Now, 21st century, post-pandemic, certifications means a lot. Okay, because earlier when you have to do certifications, online mode was not available. So you have to go here, go there, and you have all logical reasons for not getting certifications. But now, 21st century demands certifications to be given more importance. That's a proof of the pudding. So even if you are doing a college, if you have 2-3 certifications, you are considered above the person than the person who has scored even more marks in the career. So that's the first thing. Then you have your focus thing. Then comes the diversified way of having different fields. So first priority is for the certifications. I will also share some 100 interview questions, which I have formed in the past 2-3 years. Maybe even in Google, you'll find a lot of things. You can also start practicing at least 5 questions a day. How do you answer? So that can help you in the interview, at least to speak confidently. I'll take one last question, right? Maybe then I'll give the control back to the MCs.
Sir, in our college, we have the training and placement cell who take care of all the companies' interviews, the entire process. And for them, if we are applying for a company through TNP, we have a specific format for the resume template. We can't, any design aspect, we can't go from that. What we can edit is the content. So for creativity aspect, how can we bring that into this type of resume where nothing can be changed in the template?
That's a very good question, and that's a challenge. I have also worked in an engineering college as professor. So poor engineering students, I know that you won't be, and the company is also expecting the same. Not a problem. Okay. Very important thing in that is your language. Okay, the way you put yourself. For example, my name is Princely. You can tell. Adding to that, I will tell my name is Princely. People call me Prince. So I'm adding an extra information there. So when you put the paper presentation there, or when you write about the webinars that you have attended, you can add one or two choice of words there, like matching my interest. I attended this paper presentation, and you can put like food for thought what you learned, an extra information in that. Nobody is stopping you to do that. Right? But it should not be in the explanation part. That's very important. It should be in the information part. So that's one thing. So how do I change it? You can also, there's a tool called paraphrasing tool. I hope you all know that. Go to Google, copy paste it. It will give you a good choice of words. So maybe you can see the language of your written format will be different, first thing. Second thing is your presentation style. Okay, for example, when you take topics, are you putting for example, I'll tell you have attended 2 paper presentations and 2 of them are similar, so you can club up into one sentence and write 2 main focus theme, 2 different paper presentation, but the theme was the same. I was able to correlate and understand, and you put what the theme was. So now there you are giving a message telling that I am a person who attends paper presentations and works in my mind and understand that these both are relating each other. You are trying to compare, contrast things. I have seen a lot of resumes like that. So that's the only place that you can do a challenging way of changing your resume. Grammar mistakes, people know a lot of times don't know it's a mistake. That's the problem. Have you seen your question papers where it is written discuss about your electromagnetic force, something like that? And right from our school days, we have been reading that discuss about itself is wrong. It's a discuss on. Okay, redundant expression. We all tell that I'm trying to cope up. Cope up is wrong. It's cope with. So I can refer you one book, 1000 English Usage by Dr. John Shager. I think he's heading the department of American College. Very useful thing. We call it as matchbox, no? Matchbox means an empty box, it seems. There are a lot of wrong usages that we do. So you take that and you can find a lot of professional usages there. You can bring those jargons inside your resume. That can be really effective. So your language and your writing style only can be different. You cannot do any other changes. But don't be so creative that the examiner gets the interviewer gets confused of flowery and bombastic words. Whenever I'm allergic to bombastic words. When I see ambiguous, means confusion. If somebody tells ambiguous, I'm little like, okay, tell confusion, boss. I'm not okay to tell that hear this word ambiguous. So be very clear. Diction, DICTION, which means choice of words. Right words in the right place. Okay, that's what certain Tamil songs that you like, no? You take the song and see, write words in the right place. Certain songs are not hit because the words are not in the proper. Leave alone music. However, the music is, if the words are not there in the right place, right? That's where it comes. Okay, with this, I'll just stop by telling something. One of my student attended the Infosys interview and he didn't even know a single word in English. So he came to me and told, train me in English. I was an English professor then. Very ambitiously, I trained him. And I understood that he was a Tamil medium student and he doesn't even know a single word in English. He was irritating me. I told, let's give up, boss. Then he told, no, you tell whatever you tell, I will speak. I wrote him self-introduction. I made him mug up. And he will tell like, my name is Hari. I am studying. This is the format he will tell. I told him, boss, act naturally. How do you speak English naturally? Very simple. Put a in between, your English becomes natural. How? My name is Hari Bhaskar. I belong to Hindustan University. So I made him practice that already. Now he asked me the $1 million question. What will I do if somebody asks me the question? The next question. I told, I don't know. He also doesn't know. So we decided to go by telling, I don't know. Okay, first question, I don't know. Second question, I don't know. Third question, I don't know. What will happen? They'll tell, get out, come out. So what are we learning here? You're learning to face the interview. We decided. I am a person who strongly doesn't believe in Googling, believe in thought process. So some things came in my mind. I told, okay, when they ask you to get out, don't come out. Why I'm telling this is interview is just a 5 minutes drama that you're going to face. If you can act smart, you will get selected. The poor thing is all 4 years comes into that 5 minutes. That's the biggest challenge, right? And I told them, before you come out, take the file, turn naturally, turn back, give the file and keep the file and ask them, can I talk to you for 1 minute? So we practiced that for 10 times, turning naturally, again turning back. Little did I know that I'll join in Infosys. I was a professor then. I was training him during that period. Then, though I know 3 lines, tell these lines and come back. Okay, what 3 lines? Many questions that you asked, I don't know. Few questions that you asked, I know, but I'm not in a position to communicate in English. Give me a chance, I will learn and I will prove. Immediately he told us, sir, can you still make it shorter? I told, come on, I'm going to slap you. I cannot make it still shorter than this. We went, we practiced, everything is ready. He will look like Aravind Swami. So I got him a new shirt the previous day because he had only 1 shirt or 2 shirts. He was from a rural background. His father was a farmer, mother was bedridden for the past 10 years. So I got him and told, wear this dress, don't talk to anyone. It's an off-campus interview. Put chiclet and sit. That's it. If you talk, you will be exposed. Keep quiet. That's it. He came very smart the next day to the college. I told, all the best. I have classes. A lot of other colleges are coming. Don't talk to anyone. Yes. After 1 hour, I come. He stands near my cabin with a very sorry face. He told, interview, I will not get selected, sir. I told, I also know that. You also know that. The whole world knows that. Why are you feeling sad? Now tell me what happened. The first question they asked, introduce yourself. I told everything that I practiced. Second, I don't know. Third, I don't know. Fourth, I don't know. They politely have said, please leave the hall. Now I'm interested in the second part of my drama. What happened after that? Sir, I turned back. Can I talk to you for 1 minute? Then I told these 3 sentences. I patted on his shoulders and told, that's what you're going to face. Life is very easy, all the best. But he started crying. He told, sir, why is this communication so tough? I want to learn, but I'm not able to learn. He told these words in Tamil. I told, come on, this is your first interview, man, don't worry. I went. Exactly 3 days later, he came running to me. Infosys has released a selection list and his name was the 3rd name. I told, there must be some printing mistake, go and check. And I started walking to the class. Then he came running to me, no, sir, my name Hari Bhaskar is there. Then I asked him, checked him. Harini was the topper, her name was not that. Then I told some printing mistake. We called the HR and told, this fellow is getting angry. These five people are changing my name. Why are they changing? I told the placement officer, I know what happened. There's some mistake. We called the HR and the HR told, no, Harini spoke so much and she was talking so lengthy. We didn't like her. Haribhaskar told some 3 sentences towards the last slide. Even now, he is not selected. He has to come to Mysore for a training 30 days. If he clears all exam, if he clears all the test, he can continue to work in Mysore. After reaching Mysore, he called and told, sir, 3 times I'm getting food, sir. AC car, AC van, sir. AC room, sir. I told, enjoy 30 days because that's going to be your end of your life. You won't believe 30 days later, the third sentence he told us, sir, I don't understand what they speak. They don't understand what I speak, but both of us, we are talking, sir. He kept speaking. 30 days later, surprised to see he got selected. It's been 7 years after that incident, and he is a lead programmer in Infosys, still work in roles. And when I became the trainer, he pinged me in Teams telling that, sir, you joined Infosys. Nice, sir. The next year, in my birthday, I got a big wrist watch, a fast track watch, which said, thank you for being a spark in my life, sir. So I want to tell all the students who are sitting here, do you have a spark in your life? If you have one spark who keeps motivating you, go down to your knee and thank God for that. If you don't have such spark in your life, my humble recommendation would be like you be that spark to someone's life. Because we are all here to help, to learn, and to grow. The goal is glorious, but the process is painful. Let's enjoy the painful process, learn together and grow together. I really thank Trichy Toastmasters and NIT for bringing me here, and I enjoyed, and I wish and pray that I meet all of you in person. My mobile number is 9500 46731. Sana has it. If you want, you can get it from her. Stay in touch. Kindly don't send any forward messages because I have seen a lot of Abdul Kalam, a lot of Shakespeare's. If you want to tell something from you, you just tell me. If you want any help regarding communication or interview process, feel free to reach out from me. And I enjoyed being here. Thank you, and over to the MCs.
Thank you, Toastmaster Principal Samble, for this enlightening session to create a resume in a creative way and also how to tackle the interviews with a great confidence. And we appreciate having this mysterious area being clarified. Thank you again for sparking us. Just creating a bit of a spark and instilling confidence in us so that we can face these kind of interviews in the future. Thank you again. Over to Toastmaster Arun.
Thank you, Lakshi. And a very big thanks to Toastmaster Princely Samwell, sir. Especially, we all were touched by the story that you told in the end. And your session was quite interactive. Most of us were happy listening to the session because we have not had such sessions for a long time in college. You know how a college lecture used to be. But your session was really engaging. We all were into your session. And I'm sure we learned a lot about how to build resumes and how to present ourselves in front of interviewers. And as you said, let me keep this short as well. Thank you very much, sir. And hoping to meet you physically soon. We hope to meet you in campus whenever you're available.
Definitely, if an opportunity arises by itself, would love to come and meet you all. Thank you.
And a special thanks to the audience. The audience were quite cooperative throughout the session. So let us give a thunder of applause to everyone who was here, audience, TM63, Samuel, everyone. So now I would like to hand over the platform to TM Abhicharan, President of Colossus Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arun. If Toastmaster Sana has some words to say, I'd like to invite her to say.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhicharan. I really thank Toastmaster Princely sir for joining us today, for agreeing to join us today, and to organize an amazing session on resume. It was very interactive, and for that I thank the audience too for being so cooperative and giving us interesting ideas. And thank you, sir, and we are always grateful to you.
I hope you go and tell Gayatri that I did some decent job because it's just on a lighter side joking. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you. Over to Avichara.
Thank you, Toastmasters. So on behalf of Toastmasters and NIT Trichy, I'd like to thank you, Toastmaster Princely, for taking a good chunk of your quality time and getting a piece and helping us out. I'd also like to thank the participants who were attending today, the team behind this event, and also the area effort team for helping us organize this event. For others, for everyone here, we will be having the next session of Illuminate coming up pretty soon, so do stay tuned to it. And if you have any doubts or want to check your resumes, do send it. We'll make sure that it reaches Toastmaster Princely for any corrections that you want. Meanwhile, if you haven't checked out the prologue on how to ace GDs and PAs by Toastmaster Abhishek and Toastmaster Kratika, who are NITT alumni, do check it out on Instagram or on Toastmasters NITT chapter YouTube channel. So till then, hasta la vista, adios amigos. And as the president of Toastmasters, I officially adjourn this session.